Evenings Town Hall, and it has started. So welcome to the April Town Hall. We will be featuring troop trip requests and troop money earning activity applications. So we are going to actually start off with the troop trip request forms and just really anything about troop trip requests. And so I have put in the chat um, the link to the form, but I also wanted to share my screen just to show you, if you are not familiar with our council website, when you go to our council website, anything under members is where you're going to find a lot of your items. And so if you go to forms and documents right here, a lot of your forms that you're going to need for troop trip request is right here. And so you'll see the troop trip request form right here over to the right-hand side. In the middle, you'll see that wonderful health history activity permission form that you need for your meetings and whenever you go on field trips and whenever you take troop trips. And we'll be talking about safety activity checkpoints briefly in a moment, and they're on your left-hand side. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for the moment. Oh, right here. Okay. So I just wanted to feature some things within the troop trip request when you're planning for troop trips. We do have a level a progression chart that I'll be posting a link to that in the meeting chat also. And that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. If you're a leader of a Daisy troop, that progression chart will give you an idea of what to kind of plan for the coming years. And so it just gives you an idea of the level of progression for troop trips and just really travel in general. So the troop trip request form does feature the progression chart, just to give you some background information on that. And then it will also feature the safety activity checkpoints. And actually, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. I'm so sorry. And so when you click on those safety activity checkpoints, it's gonna come up with a 200-page document, and you literally do not want to print that out. But the first 20 pages or so are really the important pages of just learning about what is a safety activity checkpoint. And darn, I wish I would have loaded this before. It's just taken a little while.
There it goes.
And of course, you'll say, oh, 2022, 2023 edition. Actually, GSUSA is just coming out with the newest edition, probably in a 4 to, Amanda, 3 months?
It should be out soon. I don't believe there are a lot of large changes, so this should be okay to use until, I mean, at least through the summer. But we will let everybody know when the new one is ready.
Okay, thank you. And so in the safety activity checkpoints, if you've never checked this out before, it is something to actually just take a look at if you're waiting for kids to come out of school in the carpool lane. You pull this up on your phone or your tablet and just take a look through it. It is very interesting, and so it will cover your basic safety guidelines, what to put in a first aid kit, and then actually understanding which activities are not permitted. And so those are always things to actually take a look through also. And actually, we'll just actually go to that page too and just see that bungee jumping is actually an activity that's not permitted. Sometimes you would actually say paintball tagging. Well, that's on the list also. But the one that I always remind people is if you're meeting at other people's houses, um, that oh, what's the word I'm looking for? That trampoline is something that
Trampoline.
you do not want to use either. And so, um, if you go back to the table of contents, it's actually going to have a safety activity checkpoint for any kind of activity that you would be thinking of doing while on your troop trip. You might be going backpacking. You might be going swimming on your trip. And so it will be featured here as well, geocaching. And so there's a multitude of those to view through. We're just going to pick one to go through. And so we'll go back to swimming. So in those safety activity checkpoints, it's going to feature also other links for you to view, but it will also feature um, an emergency action plan. Each one of these will have an emergency action plan that you can take a look through and review. And it will also list if you need a special certification to take girls, or if you need to have a certified person during that activity while you're there. For example, with swimming, you might need a lifeguard, um, and so forth. So it gives you the idea or the number of lifeguards that you might need for that activity as well. This is important because when you go to fill out your um, when you go to fill out your trip request form, um, it's going to actually ask you a brief itinerary of your trip. I mean, it's going to ask who's the co-leader and all that specific information at the beginning, and then your trip information, like your destination, brief itinerary of what are the daily activities that you're going to be doing, and then it's also going to have you list all the certifications and the people that have those certifications that will be going on the trip with you. And then it'll have you give a troop roster of everyone that's going on the trip. So prior to filling out the application, um, I'm just going to go back a little bit. GSUSA over the course of the last year has changed its stance on the insurance part. And so when you're taking a troop trip to Kansas City or to South Dakota, um, you don't have to take out additional trip insurance for your trip. However, if you do want a sickness plan, like if somebody gets sick and you have to take them to the ER while you're on your trip, there is a sickness plan that you can get additional insurance for. But for the overall trip, just having them be a member is the insurance that's set up with being a member. Hopefully that wasn't very confusing.
It also includes non-members too, Joanne. The basic plan does now.
Right.
If they're,
And
yeah.
well, thank you. So yes, so that basic plan, if you look down below when you had to write your members that were going, you'll notice that one of the lines also included tag-alongs. So if you do have a younger sibling that has to go along, they do not need to be registered to come on the trip. If they're a girl member, of course, we'd love for them to be a registered member, but if they were invited on the trip, and that's all about that word invited. So if they were invited to be on the trip, they would be covered under that insurance also. Okay, and then I wanted to actually go back to the forms and document page. You'll see at the top also the health history activity permission form. This is the permission form that you have the parents usually fill out at the beginning of the school year at your first parents meeting. This is the one that you'll still have even for your troop trip. And you would just have the parents sign on the back for those dates of the trip as well. Um, I think at this point, I'm going to ask out of our permit, or sorry, I'm going to stop sharing. Out of our participants this evening, how many have taken a trip with their troop before, and where did you go with your troop? Anyone? Really? Wow. Okay, here's another question for the wisdom of the crowd. Um, are there any trips that you're planning this year with your troop, and where might you be going? Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, so Jamie says she's going to Platte River State Park. And so, I did forget to actually on that trip request form, um, you'll see at the very top of the page, it will say that you will want to complete this form um, at least 1 month prior to your trip for day trips over 100 miles. And then for international trips, you want to complete this form at least 6 months before the international trip.
Joanne, did you see Krista said they might be going to Camporee?
Oh, Krista, yes, that's great. Is that your first time at the Camporee?
No. Jamie and
Okay.
I went as individuals last time around. She's going this year as a PA, so I'll probably tag along.
Oh, awesome.
And we
See,
may or
that's
may
that
not
level
go
of
as a troop.
progression again. What?
I said we may or may not go as a troop because I'm in a new group now.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
The other thing that troop trip form helps us with as far as troop support is if we know you're going someplace, we can kind of keep sometimes on the weekends and things we don't have our phones handy all the time, but if we know you're going somewhere, if you would have an emergency or you would need to get a hold of us, we would have all the information about everyone on the trip and all the things in case we would have to fill out any insurance forms or emergency forms.
Oh, Jamie or Krista, we can't hear you if you're talking to us.
Nope, I was
she's-
talking to Jamie. She was wondering why I'm talking about her and Girl Scouts.
Oh, okay.
They always want to know.
One other form that I forgot to talk about, and so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen just for a moment. One other form is called the Accident Incident Report form. And you can also find this under the Forms and Document page. You just have to scroll down and it'll be under Troop and Service Unit. And you'll see it's the very top there. And so this Accident Incident Report form is a wonderful form to actually print a couple of copies off and stick it in your first aid kit. So anytime anything happens, even at your troop meetings, if you're going on a local trip or if you're going on a long distance trip, if anything happens during that time, then you'll want to put the information down on the paper. And I would say within, oh gosh, within
Soon
3
as
hours
possible.
of the actual incident, just take a picture of that and email that off to member support. Just so that we have all that information ready to go, and then we begin contacting the insurance company to have them start to process that. Jennifer, did you say something?
I was just gonna say, when in doubt, fill it out. Like, it might not seem
Ooh.
like a big deal, but you never know what one little bee sting could turn into or what else can happen. So if in doubt, fill it out. Like, we can decide later that, oh, maybe we didn't need to really fill this out, but if we have it, it's better to have it than not have it.
That's an excellent way to say that. If you'll see, it just asks you what the injured person's name is, the accident incident details, the emergency treatments. So you will have to, like, you'll want to have this form actually in the first aid kit or near you, just so that you can get all that information at the time that something happens. So you don't have to go back later and find people.
Some of the information can be found on those health cards too. So a great idea is to put that all in a binder or in some kind of folder so you have it all together. So in case something happens, you have all the kids' health information, you have the emergency contact information and all of those things so you can help fill this report out easy.
And the easiest thing to do, really, most people have smartphones now where you can take a picture of both sides. And then just email that to membersupport@girlscoutsnebraska.org. Okay, does anybody have any cool things to say about troop trips? Safety activity
questions.
checkpoints? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Or questions? Any questions?
Yeah, any questions? Well, here's another one. What is the trip that you would like to plan with the girls, but you haven't shared anything, and it's been on your mind, but you haven't shared it yet? Where is one place that you would love to take the girls to?
Anybody?
Oh,
Nope. Nobody's chatted yet. Don't everybody talk at once. Oh, Brenda says Savannah. That'd
ooh,
be a cool trip.
yes.
Ooh, Golden Gate Bridge.
Ooh. I remember many years ago, we used to have quite a few trips that would take girls, or the trips would take girls to the Laura Ingalls Wilder location in South Dakota. We haven't had too many of those lately.
Washington, D.C.
We have
Someone
had a couple
said.
trips to Chicago. and Jamie says she'll need a lot of those accident forms for Laura.
Oh, come on. Some of us are a little bit more accident prone than others.
And yes, South
Jamie also
Dakota and
said,
Colorado, those are
yep.
great ones also.
Yep.
Okay, well, I will say that I think we're at the point for our transition. So when you're planning for troop trips, you're also planning for money earning. And so Jennifer's going to take it away for money earning.
Yes, I'm Jen. I'm the membership coordinator out of the Southwest. So I'm in the North Platte, Ogallala, McCook area. But money earning. So one of the most important and one of the things we talk about the most is the one we want everyone to do is for sure cookies, along with nut sales in the fall. But if you think about it, like an average troop, the average they say is about $1,400 just from doing cookies. So depending on how big your troop is and how much your girls sell and their goals, $1,400 isn't too hard, I don't think, to get. I don't know. So you can decide that on your past sales and things. But cookies and the fall product are the ones we want you to do the most. There's ones that are appropriate for money earning activities. As far as the girls go, their ages kind of depend on that. So you have to, select what the best money earning activity is. You don't want those daisies out trying to do, or the brownies out trying to shovel walks and mow lawns and do all those things in the summer. So you need to maybe think about a bake sale or like gift wrapping. Some of the appropriate ones are those garage sales, like a lunchbox auction where the girls make a lunchbox and they auction those off. Restaurant nights, you can do restaurant nights, Sonic drive-through, or whatever you have. Runza, they do those through the schools, and you can do those through your organization too, in your troop. Bake sales, raking, shoveling, weeding, all those kind of things. Walkathons, bikeathons. I have known a church group that did a rockathon. So they did brought rocking chairs into the fellowship area, and instead of walking or running, they rocked in rocking chairs as they watched movies and had kind of a fun night. So it's kind of a neat idea to do. One of the troops that I have in North Platte, they do actually a craft sale every Christmas, and it's a great time because we don't want you to compete with those sales either in the fall or in March when cookie sales are going on. So Christmas time is a great time to do that. But what they do is they meet at a church. So they've used the church in the past where they basically sell spaces for crafters, vendors to come in and basically sell spaces. So like for $50, those people come in. I think last year they had 25 people. They also had their own craft booth there where they had made crafts themselves to sell. They also brought in food. So last year they did soup and sandwiches. And so people could purchase the food too. So lots of ways that she works that in a whole day. So the things that we don't ask or don't want you to do as far as council, of course, is we don't want you to solicit it on anybody else's behalf. Basically taking money for other organizations. I know lots of times during Christmas, they ask for bell ringers and those kind of things, and it's a good community service, but you can do that as long as you don't have Girl Scout attire on. So you can do it as a troop, as a community service, just not as Girl Scouts. The other thing is no games of chance. So no bingo, no lotteries, no raffles. So we ask that you don't do that. Demonstration parties. So we don't want you to sell candles or like Pampered Chef or any of those direct sales. We don't want you to do those or like do political campaigns. So really, as far as those kind of things, you can talk to your troop support specialist about if you have an idea, and we can say, that kind of works. Maybe we can tweak that a little bit and do this or do that, or no, we really can't do that. But we can help you with those list of ideas. The girls can't solicit any kind of cash donations other than for a Take Action project or like a gold award. But any of those monies, cash donations that come through, need to be funneled or passed through the council. There is a fee with that. It's $25 that they take, and then the rest of the money can go into your account for those things. But really, on those money earning activities, if you can think on it and it doesn't break any of the rules, you're free to do those things other than during those times. Does anybody have any questions about those money earning things or have an ideas for money earning things? Nobody? So on our website, Joanne, if you'll bring that up for me, there is a, it's called a quiz, which I don't know if it is said that anymore as far as that goes in our, but it's an application now, I guess, on the website. It used to say quiz. So basically it's an application that you fill out and give to your troop support specialist, and then we okay it through council. And then that way you have it, we have it, and we know what you have to do. As far as insurance, with insurance changing, you don't have to do those non-member insurances anymore with those money earning activities. If you are having non-members be there for those things like the craft sale or whatever. So that is something that you would fill out and turn into your troop support specialist in your area, or member support. You can do that either way.
And so actually this money earning activity application, you actually complete it online and you hit submit at the bottom.
Oh, okay. All right, awesome.
And so when you're in that form, you'll also see at the top money earning activities, basic info, frequently asked questions and ideas. And so when you click on that, it does come up with everything what Jennifer just said, examples of appropriate troop money earning activities, guidelines, important do's and don'ts, a section on please do not, and then it lists
Yes.
several bullets for there. And then different types of donations.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, it will talk about crowdfunding and peer-to-peer on that. And then, yeah. So we just to know that Girl Scouts adults and troops may not solicit funds via crowdfunding sites like GoFundMe or Kickstarter.
Yes, for sure. Thanks, Joanne.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions about those?
Did you want me to show you know, our lovely website has a variety of things to look at. And so if you can't remember where you found all these other things, if you just go to the search engine and you type in finances, it will come up with Troop Finances, and it will come up with also another page of information that you'll still find the things that we talked about tonight, but it will also talk about, like, again, the money earning basics for the troops. And so there's a variety of other places that you'll find information as well.
For sure. Lots of information on there and a lot of different ways to get there.
Yes.
Sometimes. So, speaking of that, if there's any questions about money earning activities, from our major one is our cookie dough and our nut bucks from fall and a fall product. Cookie dough can be used several different ways through council. You can use it at the Juliet's Boutique. You can use it for council sponsored programs, camps, those kind of things. Also, just so you know, if you don't remember, that those all expire June 1st. So remind your parents that if they've earned cookie dough from last year, that they need to get that cookie dough spent before June 1st, or they will lose it. But third graders through 12th graders can convert their cookie dough into travel bucks. And those they have an expiration of 5 years. So you have a little bit more time to use those and they don't expire that way. But we just ask that you make for sure that you do that. So those girls get their cookie dough, they can go to Juliet's Boutique and spend some money. I've been lucky enough to do pop-up shops in my area when Dulcie, our program specialist, has been doing different programs and things. And it's been fun to watch the girls come in and spend all of their cookie dough. Some moms are like, don't spend all of it. We're going to camp. So you can spend $40 of your cookie dough. And so it's amazing to me to see the amounts that those girls have in there. You have received, if your daughter has, or your kids have gotten the cookie dough, you do get an email with that amount. If you do not know what that is, oh, Amanda's putting some stuff in chats. Yay. If you don't know what that is, you can call member support and find out what the total is. But she said you can use this form to redeem your cookie dough on programs or events to transfer to travel bucks. And there's a form on our website for that. So she did have that on there. The other thing I wanted to say about that is it's just fun to watch the girls spend their money on those things. So try not to let those run out. As leaders, I will say, for a plug for Juliet's Boutique, we are having a leader appreciation sale next week. So it's the 21st through, or no, yeah, a week from then, I guess, from now, 21st through the 27th, 20% off if you use your Troop debit card. So they do ask if you have a really large order that you can call that in to make for sure you get all those good things and they can have that ready for you when you go pick those things up. So does anybody have any questions, or anybody from Troop Support have any comments that they want to make, or reminders for Joe and I if something we've missed? Anybody?
Wow. From the troops that are here, are you planning to do like any kind of money earning? And if so, like what are you planning?
I know we just all survived cookie season, so you're like, I just did it. We just did it. But with summer, it slows down, then that's when it's easier to get the girls together to do those money earning activities.
Is anybody planning any car washes over the summer? Just checking. Oh, somebody
Ooh, a
said a
troop
troop
garage
garage
sale.
sale. Ooh,
That's a great idea.
yeah.
Troop support, what is the most interesting request you've ever gotten from a troop money earning? Any that you're like, huh, I would have never thought of that. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Gosh.
I don't know about interesting, but like I said, that one I saw from a church was a rockathon. So to sit in a rocking chair, all these kids in rocking chairs rocking for money is kind of funny. All right,
And
Jamie
Jamie,
says, yeah, we
oh, go ahead,
usually
go ahead.
every year we serve lunch at the La Vista Library craft sale. So that's a good idea too.
And we haven't had this in a while. But we used to have a troop in La Vista, and this probably is like 15 years ago or so. But they would do a spaghetti feed every year in the evening, and that spaghetti feed actually paid for financial assistance for girls in the troop that could not pay their troop dues. And so it was kind of nice on how the troop worked together to help girls that couldn't pay the troop dues for the troops. So that was kind of nice.
Does anybody have any other questions or anything about anything that we've talked about tonight? Nobody? Okay. Well, if nobody has anything, we do have a giveaway tonight. We do have, we're having our third annual volunteer retreat weekend on June 28th. And we've already got some people signed up for that, but tonight we are giving away one registration for that. So if you haven't registered for that, here's your chance to win. Or if you have registered, maybe one of your co-leaders would like to go with you. So give that registration away to someone that you know. So Amanda, what you got?
Yeah, Jen, pick a number between 1 and 7.
1 and 7. How about number 4?
Okay, our winner looks like Krista Teston.
Oh,
Ooh, congratulations.
So Krista, if you want to redeem your prize or give your prize to a co-leader, email member support and we'll take care of you.
Awesome. All right. Well, from all of us at Troop Support, thank you for being here tonight. As always, reach out if there's something that you need, or if you have a question about something, call one of us, text us, email us, or you can always call member support too. But we appreciate you all, and we thank you very much for spending the evening with us, and thank you so much for all of the hours and energy you put into your troops. We really appreciate it. That's all we got.
thanks. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jen and Joe.